Blu-ray Collection Part 5. Hi everybody, and welcome to Part 5. Have a look at my Blu-ray collection. So these are all my normal Blu-rays, so not box sets. Film, TV, music, comedy. I'll say documentary, just in case there are any documentaries in there. I'm not entirely certain whether there are. Originally these were in alphabetical order. Because of the hassle of changing them all, every time I got new stuff, that soon stopped. But you will find chunks in order. Because of the way they're stored, you will see later films in the series before first films. You'll see later. I've shown Game of Thrones Series 4. I haven't shown any of the other series yet, for example. Yeah, it's just cracking. Okay, this is Love, film by Gaspar Noé. I really love this film personally. It won't be to everybody's taste. It has got explicit sex in it. But it's a love story told largely through flashbacks. Basically, Murphy, excuse me, who's an American living in Paris, gets a phone call from the mother of his ex-girlfriend to say that she's gone missing. She hasn't been seen for months. So then it's sort of told he's with his current girlfriend who is pregnant. It's then told through flashbacks that him and obviously his ex-girlfriend were in this passionate, highly sexualised relationship. His current girlfriend moved in next door to them. They got involved in a threesome. After that, he had an affair with the new neighbour, if you like, which led to her being pregnant because the condom split. So that was sort of the end of the first relationship, and he ended up with the neighbour, but he doesn't really love her. He's still in love with the ex. But yeah, it's just a really, really good film. Anyway, I showed part 2, 3, something like that, the Chloe Grace Moretz version of Carrie. This is the proper version of Carrie, Brian De Palma's version from 77, 8, 6, 6. One of my favourite films ever, basically. This is a reasonable release. It's got, a couple of featurettes, a featurette about the musical even, and it's actually got a trailer for the Chloe Grace Moretz version. I was happy with this when I bought it. Arrow have released a box set of it. I have that as well. You will see that at a later date. That's Carrie. It's Prometheus, the first of the Alien universe films, if you like, after the Alien films. You know what I mean. Bored me, really. I like being in that universe, but it's a bit heavy going for me. Yeah, not really a fan. This is a film that will really divide people. This is Nickromantic. This is an Arrow release. This is a horror film, I suppose. It's a German film, I think. Made in black and white, really low budget. Just something about it piqued my curiosity. Basically, this bloke's girlfriend brings home a dead body from work, I think. I think she worked in a morgue or something. And she falls in love with his dead body and starts having sex with it and what have you. It's very, very strange. Oh, yeah, I'm just reading my blurb. He works for a company that cleans up after accidents and things like that. And he brings home this dead body. That's it. And she gets excited by it. There is a Nickromantic 2, which I will get at some point, because it's just a very bizarre film, but I did get a perverse pleasure from it. But I would say 99% of you watching this won't like that film. This is Kick-Ass 2, the first film I absolutely adored. This one not so much. It had its moments, it was enjoyable, but not a patch on the original. This is Network's release of the Hammer Horror Hands of the Ripper. I really enjoyed this. I like Jack the Ripper, if you see what I mean. You know, I've read a number of books about it. I've watched a lot of the films, TV series, documentaries about Jack the Ripper. This is an enjoyable take on it. So what's her name? And Garrett Reese, I think, from remembering correctly, is the daughter of Jack the Ripper, and she subconsciously acts out, you know, does murders when she's asleep and what have you. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But, you know, it's a Hammer horror film from early 70s, 71. You know, it's a lot of the old Kensington gore in it, some gratuitous nudity, heavy stylised Hammer film that I really enjoyed. This is the wedding video. It's a British comedy. So Rufus Hound is brother of Robert Webb, who was getting married to Lucy Punch. Rufus films a wedding video. It's sort of a documentary, really, about, you know, the lead up to the wedding and the wedding itself. And it's a love story, which might be a hint as to what happens, but hopefully not enough to spoil the film for you. But I really enjoyed it. I'm a big fan of Rufus Hound, which is the main reason I got that. This is the Lego Movie. Don't know why I left the stickers on this. I don't normally leave the stickers on. I haven't got time to do that. Loved this film, as I think most people do. If you haven't seen it, watch it. I have got the second one for anybody, have I? Oh, I say that. Can't remember if I have or not. I've got Lego Batman. Stay tuned to find out if I've got the second one. Back to stand-up with Paddy McGuinness, Saturday Night Live Tour 2011. I liked Paddy and his work with Peter Kay. He's not really a stand-up comedian. You know, his persona makes you laugh at times, but his material's poor. Didn't do a lot for me, unfortunately. This did. This is for Swinging Cheerleaders. It's an Arrow release. There's a series of cheerleaders films in the 70s that were sort of sex comedies. I have a whole collection of 70s sex comedies that are filed separately from everything else, that I will probably do a separate set of videos for. I haven't decided yet whether I will. I don't know how much demand there is for them. But I probably will, just for completeness sake. Anyway, so this could be with them, but I've stored it with my normal Blu-rays because it's not entirely, although it is a semi-sequel to these films. Excuse me, talking too much. And late at night, it's 20 to 10, I'm recording this. Yeah, sorry, lost track. Yeah, it is a semi-sequel to some of those, which I do have. But it's not entirely, that's why I'm not stored it with them. Kate, an undergraduate at Messer University, goes undercover as a cheerleader for her college newspaper in order to expose female exploitation in contemporary society. But instead of repression, she finds love, friendship, and a bigger fish to fry: corruption in the football team, headed up by the coach and his pals. A favourite of Quentin Tarantino, who screened it at the very first Tarantino Film Fest. Yeah, so there's a lot of nudity and bits like that in it, but it's a bit more of a plot to it than the other films in the series, which is made by Jack Hill, who did, you know, a lot of Pam Grier movies. But yeah, really enjoyed that. This is Red 2. Really liked the first Red film. This was okay. Wasn't as good as the first. But the cast are hugely watchable. These crop up on telly all the time, so you've probably seen them. Stanley Kubrick's Spartacus. I basically own this for completeness sake. Every time I've tried to watch this throughout my life, I've fallen asleep. Literally. Every time, and I've genuinely fallen asleep. I don't know what it is about the film, it just sends me to sleep, basically. So I was holding off getting it. My dad had it on VHS years and years ago, and I watched it when I used to stay at his house down in Cornwall. And twice I think I tried to watch it, and both times I fell asleep. So I sort of held off watching it. It was on telly. I started watching it. And I don't fall asleep in films. You know, it's not something that I always do or anything like that. And eventually, because it was, I think by then it was the only Kubrick film I didn't have on Blu-ray, I bought it, stuck it on. This is a double feature, as you can see, of The Hot Spot and Killing Me Softly. Both films I had on DVD. Both films I really like. They're both, I was going to say erotic thrillers, but they're more sexy thrillers. You know, they're not, the plots aren't about, you know, an erotic thriller is something like Basic Instinct, where sex is a driving factor of the plot. These are thrillers that are to do with relationships, if you like, and are sexy, but the plot is outside of that. That makes sense. Yeah, Hot Spot's an excellent film. Starring Dennis Hopper, even. Jack Nance, Jennifer Connelly, Virginia Madsen, Bill Sadler, and Don Johnson. And Killing Me Softly stars Heather Graham and Joseph Fiennes. This is a US release. No, but it's, although it says Region A on the back, it is all region. But yeah, just two films I really enjoy, and that was a nice way to get them, or to upgrade them. What are we doing time wise? Okay, I'm going to leave this part here because I've got 5 films for the ease of this, by the same director that sort of all need to be all shown together now. So I'll save them for the start of the next part. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next part. Thanks. Bye.